the signs in people's yards, right? I see people putting up these signs for local or general elections, and I just think, oh my gosh, what are they? Why would they put that sign out? Or I think, yes, we're on the same team.
Politics creates that tribe, that belonging, and that being listened to, and they're going to make a difference.
I would never put a political sign in my yard because I feel it's so private.
We have this tendency to just think that anyone who disagrees with me must just be stupid or irrational.
I'm sitting with people who had never met before they were brought together for this story.
I'm really excited about this conversation because I think that, you know, as we approach elections, generally it takes up a lot of space in our lives.
If the idea of getting people who are conservative, liberal, and in between into one room to talk politics makes you anxious, I don't blame you.
I think our society has come to the point that we're always pointing fingers and looking outside of ourselves. Why aren't they listening to me?
Most of American politics today divides you into two camps.
But this is what Becca Curl does.
If you typically jump into judgment or making assumptions, then this is a way for you to examine that and be like.
I reached out to her because her nonprofit, Living Room Conversations, is all about getting us to meet people who have different opinions.
You mentioned Roe v. Wade earlier. When these really hard lines come down, there are a few people in my life that I go to their social media who I know disagree with me. Because I just need to see, what are they thinking? What is it that I'm missing, right? And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like, no, this is not it. And sometimes I think, oh yeah, I forgot that your son was almost a late-term abortion, like, but he's here now. And he's doing great, right? Like those health things I didn't think about before.
Our conversation was structured. Becca says it's important to set ground rules so people don't interrupt.
If you feel uncomfortable, if you think someone's gone way off topic, you can make the timeout sign.
We don't take the time to really understand somebody else's viewpoint. I would never start with a stranger. Like, I almost didn't tell Becca I would come today. Because it's strangers, and now it's not.
But outside of this room, I wanted to know what it takes to be productive when it feels like there is no in-between. How do we handle those situations better?
For one thing, we have to recognize that it's not a compromise, right? I'm gonna share what I believe, and maybe somebody else is gonna share what they believe. And we may or may not come to any sort of, like, I don't expect necessarily somebody to change their mind because of what I said.
What I found from this more than hour-long conversation is that while campaign season can present a world of division, understanding can be discovered by having at least curiosity about an opinion that at first you may not like.